my name is Diane and I am from Austin, Texas. The side dish I'm making today is mashed cauliflower with roasted garlic, sage, brown butter, goat cheese, and my secret ingredient, Philadelphia cream cheese. I am, like a lot of you women out there, a working mom who never seems to have enough time to cook nutritious dinners. So the thing I love about this side dish is it's fast and easy, and it goes really nicely with grilled meat like the flank steak that we're making tonight for dinner. So the first thing that we need to do is turn on the oven, preheat it to 450 degrees, and get ready to roast the garlic. I have a full head of garlic, and all I'm going to do is just cut the top off, wrap it loosely in foil, and put it in the oven for about 15 minutes while I'm preparing the rest of my ingredients. So just like that, give a little room, and voila! The next thing we need to do is steam our cauliflower. So I have a pot on my stove that I'm going to steam the cauliflower in. Just need to cook it for about 6 to 8 minutes until the cauliflower is tender. You can also put it in a dish and cook it in the microwave on the fresh vegetable setting. Also does a great job at getting the cauliflower tender enough for mashing. So I just have a saucepan with a strainer in the bottom that allows for easy steaming of vegetables. And I'm cooking on my lovely induction cooktop. I feel a little like Kelly Ripa. It boils water in 90 seconds. So I'm just going to put these in here, as many as I can fit in. And you'll see that I had about a medium to large size head of cauliflower. And that works well for this dish. Just remember, if you are using a smaller head of cauliflower, you may not need as much of the liquid ingredients. Maybe cut back a little bit on the cheese, but who doesn't love cheese? Keep as much cheese as you can. Okay, so we're going to cook that for about, is that covered? For about 6 to 8 minutes. I've got my cauliflower steaming on the stove. I have my garlic roasting in the oven, so now I'm going to get the rest of the ingredients ready. Alright, I've measured out the rest of my ingredients. I have a 1/4 cup of chicken stock, 1/4 cup of whole milk, 2 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese that I've cubed, 4 ounces of goat cheese that I've crumbled, and then 2 ounces of butter. The last ingredient I need to prepare is sage, and oh, I wish you could smell this. This is absolutely delicious. So it comes in these long leaves, and I've pulled off, oh, I don't know, maybe about 10 or 12 of these. I just need about 4 tablespoons chopped. Maybe I'll do one more. So all I'm going to do is gather these together, and I'm just going to chop them to about maybe 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so the timer went off. Woo! Nice and smoky, steamy. So I know that my cauliflower is done because I'm taking the paring knife and I'm inserting in it. The cauliflower is nice and tender and starting to fall apart a little. So right now I'm going to use some tongs and add them to a bowl with a strainer. I want to get as much of the water out of the cauliflower as I can, because I don't want my mashed cauliflower to be runny. That's one of the problems I had early on when I made this recipe, is it would get so runny and thin, it was hard to pass it off as mashed potatoes. Not that I would do something mischievous. Okay, so I'm taking a masher, and I'm mashing down, trying to get as much of the water out as possible. So a little bit's coming out. Oh yeah, I probably have about 3 or 4 tablespoons that have already come out of this. But this is not my secret to the mashing. My secret is my food processor. That's what really does the job on the mashing. I'm going to add the rest of this in here, get most of the water out, then we go over to my food processor. Okay, here's where the fun part begins. My roasted garlic is done. And how do I know it's done? Well, if you were in my kitchen, there would be absolutely no question. It just smells of that delicious garlic. Oh, it's delicious. So I know it's going to be super hot. Very careful when you open it up. Whew! Oh my. Oh, that smells so good. So you can see that it's a little brown. And I know it's done. I can see it's a little bit dry. Oh, really tender to the touch. This is going to be super hot to touch. I'm going to leave this to the side and add this at the very last minute. Give it a chance to cool. So here's my cauliflower. So I used that masher and I pushed through as much of the water as possible. And you probably can't tell, but there's probably at least, 5 or 6 tablespoons of water in here. So that's really going to make a big difference in our recipe and getting our mashed cauliflower as nice and fluffy as possible. So one of my favorite tools, my food processor. We are going to add our cauliflower, our steamed cauliflower to this. We're also going to add our cream cheese, our goat cheese, our milk, and our chicken stock. Oh, and the roasted garlic, can't forget about that. First is our cubed cream cheese. That's 2 ounces. We have 1/4 cup of chicken stock, 1/4 cup of whole milk. That looked a little bit more, but I think that's okay. Rather add too little than not enough, because you can always add more depending on the consistency. This is my 4 ounces of goat cheese, and I've crumbled that a little. You can already see that from the heat of the cauliflower, it's starting to melt a little. Okay, so my roasted garlic has already started to cool a little. All I'm doing is pushing. Whew, that's hot. I'm just pushing from the bottom, and you can see the cloves just pop out nice and easily. Ouch! So I'm going to do about, depending on how much you like garlic. We like garlic a lot in my family. I'm going to do about, oh that's hot, 6 of these. Ouch, chihuahua. Ow. Okay, I think I may have burnt off the tips of my fingers. No more fingerprints. But that's okay, they'll grow back, right? Okay. Now, to mash this, I don't want to hit the on button. I'm going to pulse it. That way it doesn't, all of the ingredients don't get too finely ground up. I want it to be just a little bit chunky, a little bit lumpy, to make it look a little bit more like mashed potatoes. So, I love this bacon. Seriously, it takes like 2 minutes, if that. It's already starting to get a little bit dark. You can see it's getting a little foamy, and boom, I'm done. I'm going to put on a paper towel, soak up some of that grease. And to this very hot pan, you can see it's kind of smoking a little. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter to make my brown butter. And what is brown butter? Woo! It is butter that is brown. Simply said. So, my pan is so hot that it's already, the butter is melting so fast. Already brown. Woo! I'm going to add my sage. That's about 4 tablespoons of sage. Woo! Oh my gosh. As soon as I add it to the pan, you can smell the sage. That aroma is just released so quickly. All it needs are 5 seconds. I'm going to turn my heat off. And then I'm going to add this to my mashed cauliflower. So I don't want the sage to cook too much. It's a little bit crispy and it's sizzling. Very delicious. I wish you could smell all of the aromas coming from my kitchen between the roasted garlic, which is still permeating in the air, and the sage, which is nice and crispy, and the bacon. All those wonderful flavors just together, mashed together with the cauliflower and the Philadelphia cream cheese. Oh, it's absolutely delicious. So good. I can't wait to throw the steaks on the grill and enjoy this mashed cauliflower. Well, I hope you enjoyed making this dish, and I hope your family enjoys eating it as much as my family does. And thank you, and bon appetit.